All right, we are back talking about Chapter 4, Proportional Relationships. And now we're moving on to Lesson 2, Identifying and Writing Proportions. So, two ratios that are equal form a proportion. And remember, when we're talking about ratios, for the most part, we're going to be using them in their fractional form. So two ratios or two fractions that are equal to each other form a proportion. To determine whether two ratios are proportional, we find the cross products of the ratios. And so that's kind of a new term. We're going to figure out what that means. If the cross products are equal, then the ratios are proportional. So if the cross products are equal, then the ratios are proportional. So let's go ahead and talk about what cross products are. So here we have, these are just letters, but they represent two ratios. So we have A over B, and then we have C over D. And if they're equal, then they would be proportional. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if they are proportional by figuring out what their cross products are. Now, cross product is basically if you take A and you multiply it by D, that's going to be a number. And if you take B, so look across from each other, and B, this is a cross. See how it kind of makes a cross or an X? B multiplied by C, that's going to be a number. So if AD equals BC, so if those two cross products equal, then what that means is that the fraction A over B is equal to C over D, and we could say that they are proportional. So that's looking at letters or two ratios or fractions with the letters. But let's go ahead and look at numbers. So let's have a number example and see how that works. So this says, are 6 9ths and 8 12ths proportional? So we would do this, 6 over 9. Is that equal? Is that proportional? I don't know. I'm writing a question mark because I'm not sure. To 8 over 12. So what we need to do is we need to find the cross products. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to figure out what 8 times 9 is. So what is 8 times 9? And I want to know if that is equal to the other cross product, which would be 6 times 12. So we're trying to see if the cross products are equal. So 8 times 9, I know that's 72. Is this equal? I'm not sure. 6 times 12, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to have to do that. 12 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So yes, 72 is equal. So since the cross products are equal, what we can say is that 6 9ths is proportional. It is equal to 8 over 12. So boom, right there. Those are proportional. So we could say yes, they are proportional. Okay? Uh-oh, right there. Yes, they are proportional right there. They're equal to each other. Let's go ahead and look at the next problem. It says, are 4/10 and 3/8 proportional? Find the cross products. So we are going to have 4/10 here, and we're looking to see if that is equal to 3/8. Is it equal? We don't know. We have to determine. If they're equal, they would be called proportional. So to figure it out, we're going to find the cross product. So we're going to go 4 times 8 and see if that's equal, I'm not sure, to 10 times 3. Well, 4 times 8, that is 32, and 10 times 3 is 30. So they are not equal. When you put a line through an equal sign, that means they're not equal. So 4 over 10 is not proportional to 3 over 8. So no, they are not proportional. Okay? That's how those problems work. So let's do a couple together. So let's do 1 and 2 together, and then I'll have you do 3, 4, and 5 on your own. So it says find the cross products to determine if the ratios are proportional. So we're just kind of doing the same thing. So we have 15 over 21 and 5 over 7. So we're trying to determine if they are proportional. So we're just going to find the cross products. We're going to go 15 times 7 and see if that is the same. I put a question mark because I'm not sure if that's the same thing as 21 times 5. Now, neither of these I know off the top of my head, so I'm going to have to do my math over here on the side. So 15 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. I write the 5, carry the 3. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 3 is 10. So this ends up being 105. Okay. Then I'm going to do the next one, which is 21 times 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So yes, 105 equals 105. So yes, 15 over 21 is equal to 5 over 7. Yes, they are proportional. Okay, let's go ahead and try problem number 2. So we had to find the cross products. We're going to go 6 times 15. So 6 times 15, and we're going to see if that's equal to the other cross product, which is 9 times 9. Well, I'm not exactly sure what 6 times 15 is, so I'm going to have to do that on the side. 15 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Write the 0, carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So 6 times 15 equals 90. And 9 times 9 equals 81. So these are not proportional. Okay, so what we would say is 6/9 is not proportional to 9/15. Okay, so no, they are not. Okay, perfect. Now it is your turn, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go ahead and use your cross products to determine if 3, 4, and 5 are proportional. So where's our friend? Oh, there's the pause dragon. Remind you, it's now time to pause your device, work problems 3, 4, and 5 out, and then when you get done, press play, and we will see how you did. All right, see you in a bit. See you in a bit. All right, we are back. Let's see how you did on problem number 3. So we're going to start off determining what the cross products are. So we're going to go 15 times 4. So 15 times 4, and see if that is equal to 9 times 9. Okay, so 15 times 4, I'm going to go ahead and take that off to the side. 15 times 4. 4 times 5, that's 20. Write the 0, carry the 2. That's a 0. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So we have 60. Is that equal to 9 times 9 is 81. So no, that is not equal, which means that they are not proportional. So 15 over 9 is not proportional to 9 over 6. So no. Okay, perfect. So if you got that one right, great job. Let's go ahead and see how you did on problem number 4. So we're going to go ahead and find the cross products. We're going to go 12 times 10. And see if that is equal to 24 times 5. Okay, the cool thing about whenever you multiply anything by 10, you can just add a 0 to it. So 12 times 10 is just the same thing as 12 with a 0 on the end, so it's the same thing as 120. But 24 times 5, I'm actually going to have to figure that one out. So I'm going to go to the side, 24 times 5. Let's see what that is. 5 times 4 is 20, write the 0, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Hey, so that equals. So that means that they are proportional. So 12 over 24 is proportional to 5 over 10. So yes, they are proportional. Okay, if you got that one right, great job. Let's go on and do the last one, problem number 5. The last one of this group. Okay, so we have to find the cross products. 12 times 15 and see if that is equal to 20 times 9. Okay, so 12 times 15, I'm going to have to do the math on that one. I'm not sure what that is. So 12 times 15. 5 times 2 is 10. Write the 0, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now I'm moving to the tens place, so I need to put a 0 in the ones place. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And now I add 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 6 is 8. And then just 1. So 12 times 15 is 180. And I'm trying to see if that is equal to 20 times 9. So I'm not sure what that is, so I'm going to do that over here. 20 times 9. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 2 is 18. So yes, it is. Woohoo! Okay, so that means that 20 over 12 is proportional to 15 over 9. So yes. All right. So if you got all of those right, yokiniki mashita, you did a good job. Okay, let's flip the page and go on to the next thing. What this states is that you can write a proportion from a given ratio. All you need to do is multiply or divide the numerator and the denominator of the ratio by the same number. Okay, so we can write a proportion from a given ratio. All we need to do is multiply or divide the numerator and the denominator of the ratio by the same number. So let's look here. We have 9/12. We want to write a proportion. So what I see is that these are both divisible by 3. So here in this example, we divide the top and the bottom by 3, the same number, and we get an equivalent. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So what that means is that these are equivalent ratios, so we can write them as a proportion when we set them equal to each other like that. So that is one way to do it. Let's go ahead and look at 9/12 again, except this time, instead of dividing by the same number, what we're going to do, because up here it says we can multiply or divide, right? So let's go ahead and multiply. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing, which is 4. When we go 9 times 4, that's 36. 12 times 4 is 48. So now we have two equivalent ratios. 9/12 and is equivalent, or it's the same as 36 over 48. And so this is another proportion that we can write over here. 9/12 is equal to 36 over 48. So what we're going to do with these problems right here is we're just going to find an equivalent ratio and then write the proportion. So we can either multiply or divide the top and the bottom by the same thing. So when I'm looking at this one 6/10, I'm seeing that they're both even. So I can take 6/10, and that's the same thing as if I was to divide both the top and the bottom by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 would be 5. So those are my two equivalent ratios. And if I wanted to write the proportion, I can just say 6/10 is equal to 3/5. And there is a proportion right there. Okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and do number 7. So how about, instead of dividing 10/15 to find an equivalent ratio, how about we multiply the top and the bottom by 2? So we can say, hey, 10 times 2 divided by 15 times 2. So we're multiplying them both by the same thing. That is equal to 10 times 2 is 20 over 15 times 2, which is 30. And so 10/15, this is the equivalent ratio. Those are equivalent. So if we want to write a proportion, we would just say, hey, 10/15 equals 20/30. And that is our proportion right there. Yeah, we could get a variety of answers on this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it, because if you do it, most likely you're not going to do the same thing as me. So I'm just going to go ahead and do number 8 as well. So what I see about 18 and 24 is they're both divisible by 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and write an equivalent ratio by dividing both the top and the bottom by 6. So if I go 18 divided by 6, that is 3. If I go 24 divided by 6, that would be 4. So there are my two equivalent ratios. 18/24 is the same thing as 3/4. And then I can write those two equivalent ratios equal to each other, and then I have a proportion. 18/24 is the same thing as 3/4. So there is my proportion right there. Okay, and that is it for Chapter 4, Lesson 2. We will see you next time. All right, bye.